Hi everyone. So in this video I'm gonna tell you how to use a resonating box that is very easy to make for many acoustical experiments and testing wood properties just by using a very simple method. Before I will tell anything about the resonating box itself, I will tell you how I started thinking of using something like this box, and what actually was the story of it. A few years ago I noticed that if you take a high quality antique, a great antique from 17th or 18th century, and then you remove the sound post and then remove the strings so that it's just looks like a violin here, you know. This is just a cheap violin for experiments. So basically, if you take it and tap on it like this, the sound of this, the tapping sound that it produces is not the same as the sound, the tapping sounds of any modern violin that I have ever heard. So I thought that the acoustical properties of the material that the great makers of the past were using are so much different from anything that is used nowadays. And to be able to experiment with the material and without the need of building another violin and another violin and another violin, which is so time consuming and energy consuming, I developed a very simple method to test the acoustical properties of different wood and the treated wood, the raw wood, and all kind of things like that. So basically this is the box, and the box is very simple. Well, you can see the size of it. So there are two sides of the box that are where I glued the spruce on from one side and from another, and these one will be compared. The other side of the box is made from plywood, and you can see that there are holes drilled in the plywood side of this box. By drilling a few holes, you can modify, you know, and using closing one or two or three holes, you can modify the pitch of the air that is resonating inside of the box, which also makes sense for certain experiments. So the simple method to compare the acoustical properties is that you're just tapping on in the center of each of the spruce plates, or you can actually use any other wood. They are thicknessed. This particular spruce plates are thicknessed to about 2 millimeters, but you can use a different thickness if you want. They are taken from the same tree, so it's a true comparison. And now let's start to tap on them and listen to the actual difference of the sound that each of the spruce plates produce in this box. So you can use various methods of tapping. You can use light tapping, you can use harder tapping, you can use different tools like this for tapping. the only thing that you have to care about is that the tapping that you are doing has to be pretty much of the same volume, so it has to be consistent. So now I'll demonstrate the way how I'm doing it in very different ways, and you will listen to how it sounds. So this was a pretty light tapping with a nail. Now I'm gonna tap a little bit harder with this pencil. And from the other side. I hope you trust that I'm tapping with the even volume and I'm actually doing this. Now I'm gonna use this tapping hammer, which is the best for me, and tap. Okay. You can hear how obvious the difference in the sound is in these two sounds. Now what you can also do is that you use this sound sliding, you know, and the other one. You can also use a scratching technique. This technique is showing a huge difference in these two plates. And also you can modify the pitch of the resonating air inside. That is by doing like I'm doing now, by closing the hole. So that's already a musical instrument, isn't it? So using this extremely simple method, you can realize what are the properties of your material very quickly, and basically by comparing it. There is another thing you can do, is you can test your preparation and your varnish, because the preparation, the varnish, is also modifying so much the acoustical properties of the box, and that makes a lot of sense to me, at least, how different coatings and preparations affect the final sound of it. The main idea was to create the sound that is the closest sound to the sound that is produced by the antique box. And since every violin is just in some way a box with the resonating properties, then by experimenting you can come to the sound that is the most close sound to the antique ones. So that's actually it. Try it yourself if you want, and see what is happening. What is actually happening is that the resonating energy of this box is showing the properties of the wood more obviously than when you tap it solely just by holding a piece of wood in your hand or something like this. So it is just an amplifier of some kind of the acoustical energy that is being input by tapping or scratching or doing something else. Alright, thanks for watching.